the issue of Burkina Faso is a priority to change Africa movement, a priority to all freedom fighters and all Pan-Africanists across the globe. It has become a continental issue. And right now, we are awake and we say if you touch Ibrahim Traoré, if you touch Burkina Faso, you have touched the whole of Africa. And the youth of Africa will not sit down. The youth of Africa will move from our various countries to Burkina Faso to help fight with our lives. You cannot keep destroying our countries. We don't need you, America and Africa. We don't need you. We don't need you because anytime an African leader rises up against the West, against Europe, and he want to go by homegrown policies, develop his country and give better lives to his people, they either overthrow him or assassinate him. They did that to Dr. Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, who was so fantastic and almost succeeded in uniting the whole of Africa. They lied, peddled a lot of falsehood about him, and the people ignorantly bought into the idea, into the lies of the West, especially the Americans, and overthrew Kwame Nkrumah. Today, Ghana is paying for it. Ghana is suffering. They did that to Thomas Sankara of Burkina Faso, the land of upright people. The man was doing so much for Burkina Faso. Up to today, he was the one that made Burkina Faso the food basket of Africa. Yet, they find ways and means to get him off the scene, and they assassinated him. They did that to Patrice Lumumba. Patrice Lumumba, they did that to him. And in few months in office, considering his policies and his commitment, they toppled him and they finished him. They told us the same lies and falsehood and fabricated lies about, Idi Dada Amin of Uganda, that he was a monster, he was a murderer, he was a vampire, he was whatever, and they destroyed the image and legacies of Idi Amin to the whole of the world, and everybody came to hate Idi Amin. And that was what we were even taught in school, that Idi Amin was the greatest evil person that has ever lived on the African continent. And they did that and they eliminated him. Lies is what the West and the Europeans have survived on, and that is what they keep going with. It is no longer going to work that way. Today, the youth of Africa are so wise, we are awake, and we are saying, get your filthy hands off Africa with immediate effect. Get your filthy hands off Africa. Get your filthy hands off Burkina Faso, because you touch Burkina Faso, you touch Ibrahim Traoré, you touch the whole of Africa. Ibrahim Traoré is young, he's a youth, he's representing the whole of the youth of Africa. And he's doing so fantastic for his people. Why are they trying so much to fabricate lies about Ibrahim Traoré to overthrow him? Number one, because Ibrahim Traoré has sacked almost all the foreign mining companies from the country. Well, he didn't just sack them, he bought the mines. He bought the mines through negotiations and told them to leave. So that now all these mining companies will become state enterprises, become state-owned, so that whatever they generate from it, they would decide what to use it for the benefit of the country. And that is what has pissed off America, Europe, and Australia, because he has driven them away from the mining and he has taken charge of all the mines. So they are angry at him, and they have to find every means to make sure they assassinate him or overthrow him, so that they bring a puppet so they can control him and come back to take over the mines. That is all the deal. But you see, Burkina Faso is a landlocked country, a small country, and it's one of the poorest countries in Africa. One of the poorest countries in Africa. A country that has, cannot boast of, even 3,000 kilometers of tarred road. Can you imagine? A country that attained independence in the 60s but cannot boast of, 3,000 kilometers of asphalted road. That is a very poor country. You go to Burkina Faso, you look at where people live, the rural communities. It's a poor country. The people are suffering and they need a liberator. They need somebody to save them. They need somebody who will come and help develop the country. That is all they need. And it doesn't matter whether that can be attained through democracy or it can be attained through, jantarism, or it can be attained through militarism or, military takeover. If the military takes over, as it has been done in Burkina Faso, and they are going to develop the country, they're going to make sure the people prosper, the country prosper. They're going to make sure they build the roads, the factories, and create jobs for decent lives and decent accommodation for the people. Who the fuck are you to say he should step down? Unfortunately, the young Ibrahim Traoré is doing perfectly what the country needs. Trust me, as of now, if Traoré is going to continue this way, the country of Burkina Faso will not need multi-party democracy for now. In the next 10 years, he should stay in power to make sure he construct all the roads, all the factories, all the hospitals and schools, and create jobs and decent accommodation for the people in the next 10 years before he steps down. The only thing is that he shouldn't overstay. Because if we keep changing governments through election every 4 years, we keep changing government, we'll keep repeating the same nonsensical cycles, and we are never going to move forward. Things are never going to change. Things are never going to change for good. Ibrahim Traoré just took over recently, and he's doing marvelous in Burkina Faso. Okay? He's constructing all the roads. And you know what he did? He has also terminated all the road construction, all the construction contracts with the foreign companies. He has terminated all of them. And what did he do? That is why the president of Ghana, John Mahama, met him. And they've met 3 times, strategizing. Now, he's having a concession. He has been given a concession at the Tema port so they can, store oil, because they don't have a storage facility in Burkina Faso. So they'll store it in Ghana at the Tema port. Okay? That aside, the government of Ghana has helped him to procure and clear and transported hundreds of earth-moving machines, heavy ones, to his country, Burkina Faso. That is leadership. That is, good neighborliness. Okay? The videos are there, you can watch, when they're taking the machines from Ghana to Burkina Faso. And he took all the machines there, and he has trained the youth of Burkina Faso, in operating these machines, in the road construction also, and they have started constructing thousands and thousands of kilometers of roads in Burkina Faso. They've started. The evidence is there. They've started constructing thousands of roads. And who are doing these roads? The youth of Burkina Faso. He has created jobs for them. He has given them skills, and they are constructing the roads for themselves, their own roads. Who is supplying the machines? He got the machines. Traoré he's procured the machines. Ghana has helped him clear the machines. The machines are in, Burkina Faso now, and that is the machines they are using to construct their roads and all the other constructions they are doing. Look at the number of factories that Ibrahim Traoré has put in up since he took over office. And the indigenous factories, look at how he has, empowered them, invested into them, empowered them. And they are doing marvelous and employing the people and producing on larger scale to supply to the country. And you want to overthrow this person? You want to assassinate this person? You are a wicked soul. You do not have any good intention for Africa, and we do not need you in Africa. Africa needs Africans, and African problems must be identified by Africans, and it must be solved by Africans, and must be solved in the African way. The African problems cannot be solved by the European or the Western world or the American way. No. We do not need you here. We do not need you. The time has come. And Change Africa movement, we are calling that Burkina Faso and all the other remaining countries shouldn't rely on Russia. We are not ready, and we shouldn't rely on any foreign machinery, any foreign authority, any foreign, power. No, we have ourselves. Let us rely, let us call on all the various African countries to come together to support our own and fight for our own and build our own to make our own better. Because once we're able to get our people from all the various African countries to support us and to support Traoré, he will succeed at all costs. We do not need Russia. We do not need Europe. We do not need America. That is what we need now. A call on all the youth of Africa, irrespective of where you are in Africa, support Ibrahim Traoré. Support Niger, support Mali for what they are doing. And let us protect them and let us be ready to fight for them with our lives to make sure they do not keep on killing our good leaders. Anytime a good leader pops up in Africa, they assassinate him or they overthrow him. What kind of nonsense is that? For how long are we going to continue with this nonsense? This time around, the youth of Africa, right from Ghana, the economic freedom fighters of Ghana, the Fix the Country of Ghana, Change Africa movement, whole of Africa, EFF of South Africa, the youth in Nigeria, we are all going to demonstrate. Starting from the 30th of April, there's going to be a massive demonstration across Africa, to say enough is enough to the Western world. Enough is enough. Take your filthy hands off Africa with immediate effect. And we're going to mount pressure on the various governments across Africa to make sure that these European and American companies that are taking over and exploiting our lands cease operation. We have to stop them and make sure we have homegrown solutions. We'll build our own companies here to take over these, mining and sectors and the production sectors. We cannot allow them to keep controlling us. The mental slavery is too much, and the time for emancipation. If you touch Burkina Faso, you've touched the whole of Africa, and you're never going to know peace. It's never going to happen. And a warning to La Côte d'Ivoire. The puppet, the sell-out president of La Côte d'Ivoire, Alassane Ouattara, you are technically a Burkinabe who have become president of, Ivory Coast. And you have since remained a sellout. And you're doing everything to ensure that Burkina Faso does not succeed. They overthrow the leaders of Burkina Faso. And you are harboring the terrorists, the co-plotters. You are harboring them and training them in, La Côte d'Ivoire to come and take over Burkina Faso. We are giving you warning. The people of La Côte d'Ivoire, warn your president. Join the demonstration. Add your voice. If he dares, La Côte d'Ivoire will never know peace. Because the whole of Africa will be on the neck of La Côte d'Ivoire. We will press your neck. You will never know peace. Don't let us bring our collective anger to La Côte d'Ivoire. Because you are now coming out of the woods of war. And now the sellouts, Langley or whatever, of America, the black American who went to snitch on Ibrahim Traoré, who went to lie about him. After lying and they planned the coup and it didn't succeed, they are planning again, and now he has traveled to to La Côte d'Ivoire, and he has been received and welcomed by the Ivorian, presidency, and they're going to have plans to deal with Burkina Faso. We will see what will happen in this Africa. Africa is no longer going to be a puppet. Africa is no longer going to be a slave to you people. Enough is enough. We have not called you to intervene for us. We will find our own solutions in Africa. We will solve our own problems in Africa. We do not need you. And we at Change Africa Movement, we're going to keep empowering the youth. And once we are trying to get resources, once we start getting resources, we're going to dedicate our time, go round from country to country, village to village, school to school, to empower the youth to stand up for Africa, love your continent, prepare for your continent, fight for your continent, defend your continent. And when we fight any country in Africa where we find a good leader, we are all going to support that leader to succeed at all costs. Yes, that is what the Change Africa Movement stands for. It is no longer going to be just a mere talk. We're going to take action. We're going to empower people. And we're going to force leaders across Africa to take the right decision for our people, to have the people and the continent at heart. We will no longer sit down for you to come and mess up with a poor country like Burkina Faso, who is trying to do whatever it can to survive, to make a living, to change the destiny of its people, and you want to cause chaos, disruption, so that they can never develop. So you can go in there and take over the mines and the production sector for yourself. It is never going to happen. Wicked people. It's never going to happen. Ibrahim Traoré is doing well. He's doing fantastic. And you see, America, let me tell you, the people you claim you are fighting for, you claim he's stealing whatever the gold and for himself and whatsoever. When you come here and you steal it, don't you take it for yourself? Besides, the people, the Burkinabes you are fighting for says, take your shit out of here. They don't want you to fight for them because they are happy with their leader. So see them. The Burkinabes are on the street demonstrating that they want their leader to stay. Don't touch their leader. Clear off from Burkina Faso. Get your fuck out of Africa. We don't need you anywhere here. We don't need you anywhere here. We have our own ways of resolving our issues. And that is exactly what we're going to do. Enough is enough. Take your filthy hands off Africa with immediate effect. Yes, we must fight to protect Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Senegal. They are doing fantastic and we need to protect them. If the president of Ghana, as he has promised and he has started delivering, if he goes according to his plans, we're going to fight to protect him as well. If the president of, Namibia, also he just took over office, if he goes according to her promises and she's delivering, we're going to fight and protect her and project her to the world. Whoever is going to do the job, we're going to protect them. We're going to defend them. That is what the youth of Africa must begin to do from now on. All the bloggers from Africa, all the content creators from Africa, all the influencers from Africa, all the celebrities in Africa, all the ordinary people from Africa. Let us join hands together. Let us have one common voice to speak up for Africa, for the total liberation and emancipation of the African people and African continents. We need to set the country free. We need to set the continent free. We need to protect the good leaders we find, irrespective of where we find them in Africa. We need to fight for them, protect them, and project them. We need to do that. And when we see the foreigner, a traitor, a stranger entering Africa with an intention to disrupt our peace, to exploit us whatsoever, we need to team up and fight them with all our minds and with all our blood, to leave our land alone and leave our resources alone for us. We must use African resources to develop Africa. We can't keep on staying and living on more than half of the world's resources, yet we are the poorest. We can't keep on doing that. We can't keep on doing that. Enough is enough. Take your hands off Burkina Faso. Take your hands and your plans off Ibrahim Traoré. We will defend him. We will fight for him because we love him. We love what he's doing. He has become an inspiration to the millions of people, billions of the youths in Africa. He has become a hope for Africa, that there is now hope that the youth must take over leadership of Africa and rule. And for Africa to prosper, it must not necessarily come through multi-party democracy that the white man or slave master introduced to us, because that thing has become a scam. They use that multi-party democracy as a tool for our stunted growth in Africa, because a developing country does not need a multi-party democracy to the large extent, because you keep changing government every 4 years everywhere, and the people keep stealing and doing so. You will not be able to have long-term plan to develop. And so when you find somebody comes to office and he's ready to develop the country, ready to do whatever it takes to make sure the country succeeds, we must protect the person at all costs, and the person must stay in power to do whatever he has to do. A minimum of 10 years, 15 years, the person must stay to do the work he has to do and take the country from poverty to prosperity. If it is about road and road construction and factories, let the person focus and build them to the fullest. Traoré has procured so many tractors and has given it to the farmers, and the government is involved, and they have expanded their farming produce and their farming lands. The agriculture sector has become so attractive, and it is boosting at a minimum cost. Okay? Why do you want to overthrow this person? Why are you lying about this person? We can't take it anymore. Enough is enough. This nonsense must stop with immediate effect. America, take your hands off Ibrahim Traoré. Take your hands off Burkina Faso. We are warning you. The youth of Africa will be at your neck if you make any attempt. You are not fighting for us because we don't need you, and we've not asked you to come and fight for us. The youth of Burkina Faso has not invited you to come and fight for them. Take your hands off Burkina Faso. This is Change Africa Movement. Follow us, subscribe. You can pay your subscription fee if you want. If you want to support us so that we, can do a lot of work across Africa, but share the videos. Share the videos. Leave your comments. Give us your support. Let's team up and make sure we protect Africa, we emancipate Africa, we liberate Africa. Make sure we fight for the united Africa, for a common army. We need a common army for Africa, so that anything that these people will try, any silly thing they try, the army of Africa will rise up to fight it. And if they refuse to do that, then we need to create an organization for the youth of Africa where we will create our own military. Yes, we need to find every ways and means to make sure we save our continent, protect our continent, defend our continent. That is what we stand for as Change Africa Movement. This movement is going to be a huge movement. We're going to take it from one place to the other, and we're going to make sure it comes to stay and make all the necessary changes that Africa needs. Africa must unite, and this is the time. And I love what so many other countries in Africa are doing in support of Ibrahim Traoré and Burkina Faso. Let us keep on doing this. Let us keep on supporting. Let us keep on uniting. Let us keep on adding our voice. Not only to Burkina Faso, but wherever anyone tries to mess up, we need to team up and go and fight. And wherever we find a good leader, let us team up to go and support the person and project the person. We love you. My name is Councillor Dion of Change Africa Movement. Follow us on YouTube channel, Change Africa Movement, Charm, Facebook, Change Africa Movement, and on TikTok, Change Africa Movement. Thank you. We love you. See you.